Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who is Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Yesterday, I put up a video with regards to 3,000 banking professionals losing their jobs, or who are going to lose their jobs in Dubai, UAE. And to my surprise, I got a couple of emails and messages from other people because obviously I'd put uh, a kind of update on Facebook that if anyone knew any, more information to update me, especially people who are working in the banks. So these are some of the points that I received, which I thought I'd share with you. The first one was a gentleman who was working in a financial institute. Apparently, he told me that his contacts in First Gulf Bank, Dunia, Mashreq Bank. Apparently, they were laying off staff, and in some cases, they were not actually hiring people from the local market. But what they have done is they have stopped hiring people from the local market, and now they are hiring people from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Apparently, they are outsourcing these departments and these jobs. So the people who are working there, who had the experience, they are getting rid of all of them, and they are employing labor which is cheaper and subcontracting this to outsourcing agencies. So departments like customer service or anything related to process or toll-free numbers, then debt collection departments. Apparently, all of them are being outsourced to Philippines, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, because of the currency value. So when you have to pay in rupees, it's much more cheaper. So it's not that they are actually, not hiring. They're hiring people, but they're outsourcing. The second thing which I found out was now banks are not directly employing people on their visas because they have a limited number of visas. So if they do offer visas, they have to offer a certain amount of benefits. So they have these other agencies through which they employ. This was a practice followed even, I think, 20 years ago. So they employ people from these agencies, and these agencies, what they do is they employ people on a much more smaller contract. So it's easy for them to hire and fire them. And people who are employed by these agencies, they don't have to give them, special perks or benefits. So yeah, these are the updates that I did find out. The other thing which I did also, get to know is a lot of people are taking bank loans, and they're trying to figure out ways and means to escape the system. This is not something I would recommend. In fact, I got an email from a guy who said, what do you advise me? Should I take a bank loan or personal loan? Because, I just want to, he basically wanted to run away. So I sent him an email response stating that, I do not endorse this kind of practice. It's not good because, see, what happens is if you take a bank loan or you take any, let's say, a large amount of money and you think of running away, if you get caught, you're finished. That's the first thing. The second thing is, let's say you assume you went back to your own country taking a bank loan and you were defaulted on your payment. Now, what's going to happen is, banks are business hubs. They will not keep quiet. They'll try to figure out some way to get their money back. So if in case they sign up with a debt collection agency that is based in your hometown, there's no rules. They can adopt any and every technique that they find suitable. In fact, I know personally of one case whereby the individual took a sizable amount of money and ran away to the southern part of India. And now the person is actually scared to mention anything about that person on social media because apparently someone managed to get their phone number and call them up and threaten them. And so it's a pretty disturbing example. So I would say that don't think that you're smarter than the system. Don't try to, don't try to practice fraudulent techniques. And finally, the last question that I was asked is, where do I get this information from? I get this information from people who are actually working in the banking industry, because I've had contacts and connections for quite some time. I do know some people in very high places, and they share information with me, but on a confidential basis. So that's how we exchange the information, and whatever I do come to know, I'll share it with you. My advice to you is, um, you know, whatever job position you're in, just be aware of what is happening in the bank. Make friends, contacts, and connections with people at higher positions because they have access to more information. Make sure that you float around your resume, update it. Try to take on a job in another bank that is expanding, because obviously when someone employs you, they're not going to fire you immediately. So at least for the next 3 years, you're safe. And if you have not grown in terms of your position, if you have not got a salary promotion, or your job responsibility has not increased, or there are changes in the department, or there are people being laid off, then that is a red flag. And I'd honestly suggest that you start taking preventive measures. Otherwise, you'll end up maybe in the unemployment list. So if you know any more information, feel free to share the information with me. I'll keep your details confidential, but obviously I'll share this information with whomsoever needs it. And yes, there are a lot of haters who keep saying that I keep sharing negative information about Dubai, but I'm trying to keep it as real as possible, especially for the expats who are working in Dubai. So yeah, so do share your comments, like the video, thumbs up, don't like it, thumbs down. This is me signing off for now. Take care.